So at this time, I was dealing with not working at Walgreens anymore, constant income. I moved out of my apartment back to live with my mom's. I lost my job with the magazine company because bro was just being greedy. I was dealing with a business partner that was out of control, and life just hit me.
Yes, sir, track production.
What's good? It's Tommy G, and this is The Hustle Real, where the hustle is real to real. The Hustle Real is a podcast show about independent filmmaking from no budget to low budget. I want to take y'all on a ride with me on how I produce my features, shorts, miniseries, skits, the whole nine. I'm gonna show you the ins and outs, behind the scenes. I'm shooting 10 shorts this year, and I'm trying to shoot a feature, so I'm gonna take you on a journey throughout all that. So before we start, I want to tell y'all a little bit about me. My name is Tommy G. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a filmmaker. I graduated from Langston University, where I played football on a scholarship, and I also did track. Not to brag, but you know, I was All-American in the shot put. If you ever went to Langston, I'm still in the trophy case. All right, so when I graduated from Langston University, I got a bachelor's degree in business. I started off by working at Walgreens. Didn't like it. I worked for Walgreens for like 5 years, absolutely hated it. While I was at Walgreens, I was writing all the time. I was writing poetry, raps, the whole nine. So I just, you know, retail wasn't for me. I mean, I learned a lot, but it wasn't the actual work. It was more of the people that I was working for. So I knew at that time that I need to work for myself. So one of my friends, one of my frat brothers, I'm an Omega, came to me with a business proposition to invest in a party. So I gave him some money to invest in a party. So I started doing party promotions. And as you all know, when you're doing party promotions, there's a lot that go into it. You need flyers, you need the time to hit the streets to pass out the flyers. So with social media, it wasn't that big at the time, but we had e-blast for emails, and we had text blast, and we had like MySpace and Black Planet and all that. So we did a little bit on social media, but more so we hit the streets and passed out flyers. As I got into doing promotions, I got tired of paying somebody to do my flyers, and me being an artist myself, I grew up drawing pictures all the time and painting, and enjoyed art class, and so I got into doing graphics once one of my partners gave me the software. He gave me Adobe Photoshop, and from there I started doing my own graphics. Got good at it over time. I mean, I did a lot of free work. You know, with any profession that you choose, it's gonna be a grind. So what I decided to do was work at it. I worked at it. I kept working at it. I did a lot of free flyers for the clubs and stuff that I worked for. I did a lot of free flyers for the promotion that I did, you know, with me and my business partners. And we had this entertainment company called Bread Entertainment. We used to throw parties at places like Stars, 2026, Ice Bar, Ronnie's in Deep Ellum, Palm. So when I purchased my camera and my laptop, I started doing small little gigs, learning the software, edit. You know, everything that I'd done was self-taught, like graphics. I wanted to be doing videos, and I wanted to be self-employed. So I worked towards being self-employed with time and effort and studying. This is when YouTube started picking up. I started doing more tutorials on how to get better at graphics, more tutorials on how to get better at doing videos, the whole nine. So me, the best teacher for me is experience. I like to get out and do it and make it happen. I mean, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. So when I purchased this camera and this laptop, I was going to shoot my LB's wedding in Austin, Texas. We got down there, we went to a bar, I think it was Bombshells. We was having drinks and eating with me, my LB's, my dean. And while we was in there, somebody broke into his truck and took my whole bag. Took my laptop, took my camera, but luckily I had a little handheld. But I mean, it didn't come out like I wanted it to come, but it was my first wedding shoot, and I still made it happen for my LB. All right, so fast forward a little bit. A friend of mine purchased me a camera and a laptop and put me back where I needed to be. At this time, I started doing more with the filmmaking, and I actually ventured into doing photography. I did green screen with my nephews. We shot movies with my nephews. I have a few things that I done did with my nephews and my son, skits, short films, then my features. I try to keep them motivated, so maybe one day they'll be an actor, a director, something where they can be self-sufficient. If you haven't, check out some of my content on my page. It's PpSquared Productions. There's 2pSquared Productions, where I have features, shorts, skits, the whole nine. So check out the link in my bio. So I was doing promotions. I mean, I was going hard with promotions because I didn't want to work at Walgreens no more. So me going hard, I started going hard at graphics. I started going hard at photography, videography, so I can create a company where I can be self-sufficient. All right. So during this process, I was doing events like great parties at the club. I was bartending. I got into bartending, and at some point I was managing two clubs and bartending and working the door, and I became a host of a open mic, one of the biggest open mics in Dallas, at the Ice Bar. If you know anything about Dallas history and Dallas music, we brought every artist through the Ice Bar at the time that they was hot. It was during the boogie movement, and if you know anything about Dallas, we got a lot of stance on all this TikTok stuff that's going on because of people like Mr. Hit That and guys that used to boogie in the clubs and make boogie music. So it went down. So during the later years of me doing promotions and going hard, I mean, I used to go hard to the point where if I laid down, I went to sleep because I was working at Walgreens these odd hours, and I would get off and I would go do a party. I would promote like crazy. I'm talking about putting out 5,000 flyers a night, me and my guy, and it was just a fun time in Dallas. I mean, the clubs was on fire. Every club was jumping. We had Deep Ellum was cracking, downtown was jumping, uptown was jumping. I mean, we went everywhere. We put out flyers everywhere in the DFW, and it was fun till it wasn't fun anymore. You know, it's just picking the right business partners. I got with a guy that kind of destroyed my company, and during this time, as a promoter, I'm just gonna give y'all this tip. As a promoter, you should give everybody that comes to your club what you tell them you was gonna give them on the flyer. So during that time when I was on decline of doing promotions, I stopped working at Walgreens. I actually started working with a guy that was doing a magazine, but at this time he just, you know, he was doing so much bootlegging and candle making and this whole nine, and he didn't want to pay me right. So I became unemployed to the point where I had to tough it out for as graphic designs, photography, videography, and still doing promotions. I was doing a night every week at the Blue Cloud, and I can notice something was going on with myself because it's just, you know, you can kind of tell when things are not right in your body. So I was going, and this guy that I was working with, he was getting out of control. I mean, he was offering people that stuff that we wasn't giving. Like, we offered them an R&B night where we used to give out roses and different things like that. Different R&B artists from the city would come through, sing, serenade the women. And on those nights, he started putting rappers on and turning off our crowd. So it's very hard doing promotions and not giving people what you want. So people stop kind of coming to the club. So I could tell things was off with me. And I was working with a guy that just didn't have the best interest for my company. I brung him aboard to do more of the negotiations, while I do more of the back end stuff where I build a website, designs and graphics and stuff like that. And I had another guy that did coding, and still my business partner to the day. So one thing I do believe in is people bringing people together, because I met a few of my good business partner buddies to this day through messed up people. So it was all in the experience. So as I was promoting at the Blue Cloud, it got harder and harder for me to drive from Garland, where I was living at the time, to the Blue Cloud in Deep Ellum. And when it rains, I really was scared driving home at night, because I have muscle memory, so I can remember landmarks and different things like that when I'm driving home. So I know, hey, I'm closer. But it started to get hard for me to even see the lines in the streets. Every year, I notice my vision gets worse because I have to change my contacts out, and I have to change my glasses strength and different things like that. So I was just thinking that I needed some new glasses, but I couldn't afford them at the time while I was doing promotion. So I kind of waited a little longer to actually go to the eye clinic. And once I got to the eye clinic, the guy checked my eyes. He told me I might need to go to a specialist, but he also told me that I could be going blind. So at this time, I was dealing with not working at Walgreens anymore, constant income. I moved out of my apartment back to live with my mom's. I lost my job with the magazine company because bro was just being greedy. I was dealing with a business partner that was out of control, and life just hit me with my vision declining, and I felt devastated. You know, I have a cousin that's all the way blind. He ain't legally blind, he's all the way blind. He lost his vision, and I thought I was gonna lose my vision. And being a graphic designer, videographer, photographer, your vision is everything. You know, I gotta see the work. So I cried, I ain't gonna lie. Alright, so my next step was going to see a specialist. I went to Parkland Hospital, got in. It took some months for me to even go upstairs to the ophthalmology clinic. As soon as I got to the ophthalmology clinic, they checked my eyes and seen that my corneas had deformed to the point where I couldn't see out of my eyewear anymore. I couldn't see out my glasses, I couldn't hold contacts in, they were scarred, I couldn't drive at this time, and I need surgery on both of my eyes. So, first surgery I did was my left eye. It took a whole year to heal my left eye so they can do my right eye. And during this process, man, I still had to live. My thing is, I've seen a dude climb a mountain with no arms and legs, and I was blown away by it. So there was no way that I was gonna stop a little vision from stopping me from doing what I wanted to do and what I love to do, which is doing graphics, videography, a little bit of photography now that I done kind of mastered it, and web design. All right, during the healing process of my left eye, I still was working. I was still doing graphics. I just had to scoot everything close to me. I still was coaching Little League football. I'm going to DeSoto because in Texas, that's where the competition is. It's like a melting pot over there in DeSoto. That's where DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Lancaster, Oak Cliff, and I feel like that was the competition. So my son played football, so I would take him over there. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for your kids, and that's what I was doing. I was sacrificing on getting on the train, going all the way to DeSoto, getting picked up by coaches to go coach, and coming home at night. You know, it was just me and Junior, little Tommy. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got into coaching. I started Tommy small in football. He started when he was 7 in tackle football, and I used to, like I said, I worked for the guy that did the magazines. And one day a guy named Smitty came in, and he had a little league organization named the Southwest Longhorns. Southwest Longhorns, I got my nephews, I got my son over there. They all was on the same team for 1 year. And while I was there watching them coach, I didn't like the way they was coaching the team, my son. I just didn't like just how things went. So me being an athlete myself, I played ball at Langston, I played football, and I did track at Langston. I said this can be my contribute to my community, so I picked up coaching. During the time that I was coaching, I was going through the healing process of my left eye and my right eye, and when I would coach, I would coach with my camera. So if you ever came to my games, we played at DeSoto, UIL fields, I would have a camera in my hand, and when we went to another league, this lady tried to come up to me like, hey, you can't have that camera here. I was like, I'm visually impaired and this is how I see. So basically, I use my camera lens for my eyes, and that's another reason I got good at shooting, and because I was doing it constantly at this time, you know. If I had to bring it close to my face, film, I was coaching, I was like, hey, make that play, do this, you're not doing that, you scoot back. And you know, everybody got kind of used to it, and a lot of people's like, man, you know, I wouldn't have never knew you was legally blind if you didn't pick up your phone and put it to your face, or you didn't pick your camera up and have it to your nose touching it. But people thought that I was looking at the peephole, but I actually was looking at the screen on my camera to see, you know. So that's a little bit about coaching. And then editing. I used to edit close, editing the games, the highlights, the whole nine. So that's how I got into sports editing. While I was coaching, my eyes was healing. Both I had, at the time I had got both surgeries, and the day came where I got fitted for a contact. The first contact that I got fitted for felt like the lady put razor blades in my eyeball. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this type of contact. It was a hard plastic contact that just fit on your pupils, and it was just so uncomfortable, and I had numbing drops in my eyes, and I didn't think that I was gonna be able to use eyewear, but through time she kept getting it right. You know, it fits comfortable now, especially made for me. I can't go to a eye clinic and get my contact made. I have to go to my specialist, which is Parkland Hospital, to get a special made contact. And when I progressed to seeing again, it kind of hurt me, because, you know, when Tommy was in high school playing football, I had the camera all over the place because I could see again. And you know, the process is just, you know, it gave me I can't explain the joy. I mean, I even to this day, I wake up and I say I'm blessed for being able to see again with proper eyewear. Got both my surgeries done. Both my eyes was healing. I mean, it was a process. I used to go to the hospital once a month twice a month, 3 times a month. Felt like I started to live in a place. The lady knew me by the name. I didn't ever know what she looked like until I actually got fitted for a contact. But they know me by name. They be like, "Hey, Mr. Dunn," when I come in, and it's all love. I appreciate Parkland Hospital for fitting my contact, but it was a process. I mean, have you ever had stitches in your eyes? If you ain't never had stitches in your eyes, it's an experience because they cut the stitches out your eyeballs as well. So I had to be woke and seeing a lady with some tweezers clip little vines out my eyes, and it was crazy. I mean, they put almond drops in my eyes, but just to see somebody put some tweezers to my eye and I can feel a little pressure cutting it and taking it out. Those days I wasn't getting no work done because my eyes was hurting. I've been at Parkland for hours. Then I had to go get on the train and go home. I went straight to sleep when I got home from those days, but I appreciate those days as well because it got me to this point. Not being able to drive was like one of my main things when my eyes started healing. I was just like, man, I just pray that I can drive again. And the day that I was able to drive, when I finally got both my eyes healed, I got this special contact that fits comfortable. And my son was going to camps in the summer. We went to Baylor. One of his teachers took us down there. I still didn't have the contact at this time, but I got the contact when we was going to the Texas camp in Austin. And I was trying to find somebody to take us, and I couldn't find nobody to take us. And my sister, she said she was gonna take us, but she didn't feel like it. So she was just like, "Man, you could drive. Won't you just drive drive the car down there?" I was like, "You sure?" And the most nervous that I was driving to the gas station to put gas in the car and dropping my sister off to pick Tommy up to go to Austin. So I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous to drive again for the first time, but once I got behind the wheel and I drove to the gas station, put gas in the truck, came back, picked Tommy up, I drove us to Austin to the camp. He had a good camp. Drove us back home, seen my nephew that lives in Austin, and the rest is history. I can drive again. So just blessed beyond measures to just drive, to see my people, just not walking around the world bleary and having to see everything through the lens of my cameras. So being able to see again, blessed beyond measures. I thought about all the things that I went through, the failed relationships, the promotional game, the being unemployed. Just it takes a toll on a man living with his mom and his sister and having a kid. You know, at the same time, life goes on, so I had to continue to live and keep pushing. Like I said, I seen a man climb a mountain, so I wasn't gonna let a little vision stop me. Just my emotions was up and down. You know, I stayed constant. I started meditating and tree hugging and walking on grass, exercising, sunlight, things that my doctor told me to do. I had a new perspective now that I can see. Created this thing called practicing positive karma on a daily, because whatever you put out in the universe, you will get back. So why not positive? I just created a positive mindset around everything that I was doing, and I'm not saying that it wasn't gonna never be any negative things, but going into it with a positive mindset makes it lighter. The negative situation a little lighter, that you can deal with it and keep it moving and pushing. So now, being refreshed, having this new mindset, being able to see again, I started working harder on my goals. My goals are filmmaking, photography, videography, the whole nine. My company started as a promotional company. PpSquared is actually party profiler. The reason that it's PpSquared right now is because I took the liberty to elevate my company by changing the name. I know people would think, hey, how is party profiler supposed to make me some graphics for my business? So I wanted to change the name to fit every type of business. And you know, you lead. I always say leaders lead from the front. So me being a leader of this business, I wanted to lead off with a business mindset. I didn't want people to think partying anymore. I mean, even though I do promotions, and sometime I might have a New Year's Eve party, a birthday party, or some kind of celebration, but my company is much more than a party company. So I have elevated. I have shot over 10 shorts. I have shot 2 features, which now I'm working on my second feature, which is Social Glitches, that will be coming out this year. I got to finish some edits. Web design, I designed a few websites for a lot of clients, a few of my clients that they just, you know, they love their websites. Graphics, I stay busy. All right, so what to expect from PpSquared Productions and me, Tommy G? We will put out more content. We're gonna focus more on the craft. So what I'm gonna do this year is shoot more and put out on YouTube. I have a Roku channel now called DTR. So if you got Roku or Fire Stick, download the DTR app. Most of my movies will be on there this year, as well as my YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube. Also, I do photography, videography, still for clients. We reaching for bigger clients this year. So my mindset is bigger. They say if you're not scared of your goals, then your goals are not big enough. So this year we're going bigger, we're going better. So if you're a content creator, videographer, photographer, graphic designer, web designer, coder, or whatever you do, and you have a disability, don't let that stop you. Don't let that handicap you from doing what you want to do or accomplishing a goal. Crush all your goals. This year, the motto is keep it moving, crush your goals. We say that every day. Speak what you want into existence, and always go into everything with a positive mindset. Because practicing positive karma on a daily. Whatever you put out in the universe, you will get back, so why not positive? All right, this is Tommy G. I'm signing off. As always, subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell, and we're gonna upload content every week this year. We uploading shorts, features, comedy skits, comedy shows, events, the whole nine. Follow us, subscribe. The goal is 1,000 subscribers, so please help us get to that point right now by subscribing to the channel. This is The Hustle Real, where the hustle is real to real. And join us on the next podcast show. Peace.